Bone Tomahawk is a horror western movie directed by S. Craig Zahler and starring Kurt Russell, Patrick Wilson, Richard Jenkins, Matthew Fox and Lili Simmons. Yes, this movie is a horror western. And by that I mean that if you hate gore, if you hate extreme acts of violence, you are going to hate this movie and you will probably puke during it. So be warned, if you hate violence, don't watch this movie. Here we go. The story of the movie is pretty damn simple. It's about this western town at the end of the 19th century where a group of Indians kidnaps a woman and another man and they bring them back to their place because they are cannibals and they're gonna eat them. So a group of 4 people, the sheriff of the town, the deputy sheriff, the husband of the woman, and another man, go on a quest to find these people and bring them back before they are killed. This is pretty much the entire plot of the movie, and I gotta say, it was pretty weird. I did love how the movie was acted. The acting is great, Kurt Russell is fantastic, Richard Jenkins gave us a really good performance, even though it's a bit annoying a couple of times, and Patrick Wilson is pretty much the main character in my opinion of the entire movie. And Matthew Fox steals pretty much every single scene that he is in. But I gotta say that the movie is 2 hours and 12 minutes long, more or less. And the middle of the movie is really damn long and boring. I know that it's pretty much all character development. You have these 4 men on their journey talking, staying at some camps, chatting. One guy keeps talking about his wife, another one just shows how badass he is. And it was pretty interesting, but to a point, because some of the characters don't get as much screen time as I wanted them to. The character of Patrick Wilson is pretty straightforward, as well as the character of Matthew Fox. Well, they put too much effort trying to make Richard Jenkins' character really sympathetic, while he was pretty annoying in the end. Even though acted greatly, he was pretty annoying. And Kurt Russell, you never really know what his backstory is. He's just a sheriff, he has a wife, and it's Kurt Russell, I guess. It was pretty weird in my opinion. And then the last part of the movie is pretty much a cannibal horror movie with some extreme acts of violence and gore that actually made me feel very sick, and that's just because the special effects were really effective. If I actually sat down and said the first part of this movie is a western movie and the other part is a slasher horror movie, it might sound pretty weird and like you're watching 2 different movies, but the movie is pretty perfect. It blends the genre really well, even though I do think that the entire middle act of the movie is pretty boring, and the last one is really violent, really brutal, but it was pretty engaging, and they did care for the characters, because after an hour or so of them just talking and moving around the desert, you actually get to know them, you care about them, and since the movie starts with some pretty horrific acts of violence, you actually know that if they get taken by someone, if they get hurt, they're gonna lose something. They're gonna lose their leg, they're gonna lose their limb. And yeah, and I said that this movie is violent because just thinking about it, there are some scenes, especially one scene that actually I had to turn away. I was like, nope, oh god, oh god. So in the end, Bone Tomahawk is a pretty good blend of western and horror. If you like horror movies, especially gory ones or cannibal movies, you're going to love the hell out of this one. But be warned, because it is a little bit boring in the second act. The acting is pretty damn good, the characters are written really well, the story is fairly interesting even though a little bit too simple in certain aspects, and the visual effects are spectacularly violent and gory. The soundtrack is a little bit disappointing, there aren't that many tracks, and the sound effects, some of them are pretty good, others are a little bit cartoony, I'm not gonna lie. But for being the directorial debut of this director, he did a pretty good job, and I do admire this movie, especially for what it wanted to do, because it definitely succeeded. It's a great horror western movie. Tell me in the comments below if you guys want to watch Bone Tomahawk, if you've already seen it, tell me your opinion. Thanks for watching guys, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.